administration is all I've done for 28 years. And you're giving me 5 minutes. So, instead I'm going to give you a framework for analysis. And I was asked to come here to talk about what President-elect Trump and his administration, how it might affect your community. So even if you have your phone, if you want to write this down, my 15-year-old son helped me with this. He said, Mom, leopard, L-E-P-R-D, L-E-P-R-D. So, to determine what a particular policy, law, or program and how it may affect your community, let's understand, we have laws, we have executive actions, we have policies, and we have regulations. The D is for determine, leopard. Okay, so let's take a law. Let's take a law of family, sponsoring family members. President-elect Trump said he was going to throw that in the trash can. It's a law, he can't do that. Only Congress can do that. So that's the L. The executive action. The executive action is, I'm the president and I act and I'm writing this. So we have DACA, deferred action for the kids. 750,000 kids have DACA. 550,000 renewals. Sadly, it's an executive action. That means now that we have our leopard and now we're plugging and playing and we're learning, we have our framework, he could throw that in the trash can on January 20th. Whether he will or not, well, he only has 5 minutes. Policies. A policy is not a law, it might be an executive action, but the policies can also be changed. In 1997, we have those terrible laws, and anything nice for the community, for the immigrant community, has all really come. Not through laws, but through executive actions and policies. Right now we have a policy that came out in a memo. Policy can come out in a memo or a letter or a little teeny blip. And it said, it came out January 20th, 2014, and it said if you don't have major crimes and if you haven't had a deportation since January 2014, even if you had a deportation before that and have been here for 1 million years with no papers, we don't even want to spend money on you. You are not what's called an enforcement priority. That's in place now. That could go out. So that's our leopard. So you figure out, what do I want to know about? Where is it in leopard? And then you'll know what kind of action you have to take, what you need to think about, and how concerned you want to be. So what about regulations? A regulation is... let me just give an example. The I-601A provisional waivers. Can I have a show of hands? How many people know what an I-601A provisional waiver is? Okay, well, one. Okay. So that is a regulation. What it does is it helps persons who are married to residents and citizens plus more now, who entered without papers, do all the process here, and just leave for like 2 or 3 weeks to come back with residency. That's a regulation. So President-elect Trump can't just throw it in a waste paper basket. He has to seek to repeal the regulation, which is a process. So that can take months and even years. So that's our leopard. And then determine. What does he want to do? Where does it fit? What can we do? And then we have to call the National Lawyers Guild to help us, because I hope all that stuff's unconstitutional. And so I want to just briefly mention a couple of other immigration programs. How many people know about the U visa? Okay, 2 or 3. I need to come back here. I need to come back. The U visa is for victims of crimes that have no status here. It even helps persons who have orders of deportation and even some other kinds of crimes. What it says is that if a person is a victim of a violent crime, which can be a misdemeanor, domestic violence, and is helpful to the police, you don't have to catch the guy or have to go to prison, and if the person does that and is substantially harmed, the person can get work authorization for 4 years, and after 3 years apply for legal permanent residency. So that's a really valuable program. If a person's married to a U.S. citizen or a resident, and there's a battery, or they've been battered, or extreme emotional cruelty, what if a person just has been a victim of extreme emotional cruelty but never had a battery, police never called? If that person can prove it, that person can gain legal permanent residency in the United States, and while they wait, immigration will hang out and just watch without trying to do anything negative to them. How many people know about temporary protected status? A few more. That's if you're from a country that either had a horrible earthquake or maybe has terrible political issues like Syria. The government will establish a time for that group to stay here and get work authorization until such time that the danger is over. And there's just so many other programs. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to call me at my office at 4210911. But remember, leopard. Oh, one last. And how do you know what I say is true? Well, I mean, I've been invited here and I have my resume, but what about somebody on the radio telling you about what they're doing? So, you know, distinguishing fact from fiction is something that is really, really important. Don't forget, where are you hearing this from? Why is this person, how does this person know that? I don't care how important they look. When you're determining, also know, is this fact or fiction? Thank you.